Hey guys, Mike Builds. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I want to kind of do something about my battery setup here. I'm always testing and trying out a lot of different batteries, which means my setup is always changing because I will review a battery, test it, and then I will actually put it in service because I actually want to use these batteries. The issue is, it's kind of getting to the point to where I'm actually kind of running out of space, and it also makes everything look really messy. I have wires running everywhere, and it's just not ideal. So our vertical batteries here, that looks fine. I don't have an issue with that. We have our Humsienk packs here. Those also look totally fine. But then we have a server rack battery there. We have all of these server rack batteries here with wires just kind of running everywhere. I have another server rack battery sitting there that needs to be connected in service. It just looks really messy. And when you look over here, all you see is wires, and I really don't like that visually. So in today's video, what I'm gonna attempt to try to do is use some old scrap pieces of wood and build myself a wooden server rack to hold the batteries. Now I can already hear the comments, but Michael, why would you use wood? That's not a good material to make a battery rack out of because it's flammable and all that stuff. And I agree with you guys, it's not great. But I just want to do something a little bit different than this. And then in the future, if I can get the racks kind of set up the way I want, like how many batteries I want in each rack, and then how I want to lay the racks out, I will then go back and make them out of metal. Making them out of wood for now is kind of like doing a quick prototype, and it's also going to give me a better idea of what it's going to look like and how clean I can actually make it. So that's going to be the task for today's video. I'm going to take you guys along for the journey, and I'm making this up as I go. I don't have any plans, so it might look kind of crazy at first, but hopefully by the end of this video, we're going to have a really nice server rack setup style battery. And maybe you guys at home, if you have a ton of different server rack batteries, or you just want to try to build your own server rack, maybe it'll give you some ideas, or maybe it'll just motivate you guys to clean up your system a little bit. Because this is really messy, and like I said, I don't like this at all. I really want to cable manage a lot better, and it just needs to be cleaned up a little bit, especially because this entire system is responsible for running my house 24/7. This is never turned off. So it needs to be really good. It needs to be safe, easy to service, and all that good stuff. So let's get into it. So here's a good material pile I think I'm going to use. These are just some 2x4s. And a 2x4 should be plenty strong if built in a good enough frame. And the main reason I want to use these is because they're free. I already have them here in the backyard. I really don't have a use for them, and I love the idea of being able to recycle materials to make other things work. Also, the yard is starting to dry out, so hopefully we can do some more outside projects here pretty soon. It'd be really nice. Also, it's very hot here in Texas. It's very humid, so I got 2 mini splits running, keeping the house nice and cool. And somebody asked me for an update on the Causeware mini split that we installed on a previous video. That unit has actually been doing very well. So make sure you guys go check out that video of the install if you're interested. So I think the very first thing I need to do is I need to disconnect all the server rack batteries, pull everything away from the wall, and just kind of move a bunch of stuff around. Now what I am gonna do is I'm probably gonna keep 1 or 2 of my largest batteries connected to the system. That way the house continues to get powered. Here's some of the tools we're gonna use in order to do this project. So we have a speed square, a bunch of deck screws, a drill to drill pilot holes, a driver, but I don't have that on screen right now, a set of drill bits, a tape measure, and a circular saw. And here's all the material we're gonna use. This is all reclaimed, reprocessed wood from another project. These are all relatively straight boards. They are very old, but none of them are rotted. They're all still very dense. No issues there, so they should be still structurally very strong. Here's sort of the basic shape that I'm kind of going for, as well as the height. I don't really want to make it much taller than this. In fact, it may even be a little bit shorter. And more than likely, I'm actually gonna build 2 of these. We're gonna see if we can fit maybe 4 on this one and then 3 on the next one. And maybe in the future, we'll even put some wheels on it. That'd be cool. Did get the bottom all done, and then I have these 2 pieces right here. So now all I have to do is place another battery here. Now what's holding these pieces to these pieces is 4 screws on each side, so 8 total. So that should be enough to where all the weight's actually gonna be pressing on the legs and not necessarily trying to crush the battery beneath it. So I want this thing to spread out the load as much as possible. Each one of these batteries weighs 100 pounds. So this thing does have to be very strong. I don't want it falling over or crushing a battery on the bottom. Now this battery here on the bottom is actually one of the bigger server rack batteries. It seems to be a little longer than the rest. So that guy's probably gonna go down there, and I'm gonna slowly start stacking the rest, probably go 4 high and just kind of see what that looks like. This one is a little more narrow, but it does still seem to fit. Oops. So this is kind of the problem that I wasn't wanting to run into, but the rest of the server rack batteries I think are all the same width. It's just for some reason the DE battery is a little different sized. I thought it was a 3U server rack battery size, which is what this is, but it is a little different. So there it is on there, but it's just barely resting on there. So we probably only have about 1/2 inch of engagement on either side. So I may have to add 2 more pieces of wood just to get that guy a little bit more locked in. All right, here's the solution. We added another 2x4 with 4-inch screws on either side. Hopefully I can still get this bottom battery out. Yep, still slides out just fine. So we're good there. Now we can take this battery, and there we go. Just kind of center them up, and that's it. What do you guys think so far? Not too bad, I think, for free. We got 3 batteries loaded in this thing. If you guys check it out, look, I can still pull the bottom battery out, even with 2 batteries stacked on top. So I do believe a majority of the weight's gonna be carried by the actual frame. It actually looks pretty good, and obviously I'm gonna go through when I'm done and kind of clean everything up to make it look a little bit nicer. But so far, our recycled wood server rack battery holder is coming along pretty good. Dang, that looks amazing. I wonder if I should just do 4 and then do another one with another 4. Yeah, because that's 400 pounds. And this is what it looks like with me standing next to it. It looks pretty cool. Only problem is I think I'm almost out of wood, so I'm probably gonna have to go buy some more 2x4s to build the next stack. But so far, I really like how it's coming out. I'm really digging the design that I came up with, and it appears that it's gonna work perfect. So I already started replicating that same design to build a second one because I have a total of 8 batteries. So I've already got the base battery in place. And we're gonna get this thing framed up, and then I'm gonna sit them next to each other. The only thing I still have to design is the top part, and I wanna leave a lot of room to put bus bars, because essentially I want all the batteries to connect to one set of bus bars, and then that set of bus bars will then be connected to the system or paralleled with this rack as well, and kind of go from there. All right, there's our second tower all put together. It looks really good. Now I gotta figure out how to wire it up. And I'm also gonna try to find a really good spot for them. So I think I'm gonna move this table, all these golf cart batteries, those are all gonna get moved. And I kinda wanna put these wall batteries up against the wall there. So I got a lot of moving around to do. So I will update you guys once I kinda get an idea of where I'm putting everything. And with all that out of the way, you guys can kind of see, if you watch my install video, you've already seen how I did all the wiring, but you can see our dual bus bar setup with the battery shunt and all that. And the only thing powering the house right now, since everything else is disconnected, is our CALB pack over there. And then there's a Humsienk wall battery over there that I'm actually doing a review on, currently being tested. So those 2 batteries are getting 140 amps just for themselves. Now I'm gonna try to wiggle these massive wall batteries. I'm gonna push those up against the wall. EG4 and Humsienk 314, both 314 amp hour batteries. The nice thing about the Humsienk, it has wheels. EG4 does not. All right, this entire area has now been cleaned, so that looks 10 times better. We got our 2 big 314 amp hour batteries right there, and I do like the fact that I have my nice big EG4 indoor vertical battery connected almost directly to the inverter, because I'd say that's probably one of the best batteries I have, or at least one of the most expensive. And then we also have the Humsienk pack directly connected to it. Luckily, this comes with a nice set of cables. You get 2 cables when you buy this battery with these Amphenol connectors, and I still have another spot right here so I can add another battery in parallel. And I'm thinking about maybe using these 2 Humsienk wall mount batteries, maybe putting one there like I have it, and then the other one in front of that. But I like the idea of being able to kind of get in here and do maintenance. This wiring right here is still a mess, so I still have to go through and clean up all these AC wiring. A lot of this is the solar input from the panels, and also the extension cord looking ones go out to all the mini splits. And then I also have another set of charge controllers right here that are running a smaller set of panels. But now I can actually access this little area, do maintenance, clean everything up. And yeah, I really like having that area open. The 2 bigger Humsienk packs are also moved out of the way. All the golf cart batteries that are on this table, I'm probably gonna roll over there against the wall. Then we're gonna move that guy, put the server rack batteries up against that wall. And then I'm still figuring out what I'm gonna do with the Humsienk big batteries. MB56 pack and the MB31 pack. This thing fits pretty nice right here, so I think I like that. Also, the nice table, so I can put some stuff on here, or maybe if I need to put a charger or mess with a battery, I kind of like that. Small update. It's looking a lot better. Still left some access area right here to get to all the wires. I stacked the MB31 and the MB56 battery. I didn't even know that you could stack these. I just kind of assumed you can. But if you're wondering, they line up perfectly. Because if you look here, there's a hole here and here. And on the bottom of the battery, there's a matching set of like little nubs. And the MB56's pack has the same spacing as the MB31. So I was able to Literally set it right on top, latched it right on there so it's all secure, ready to go. And I was able to clean up a little bit of wiring just from stacking those guys. I am a little bit concerned about the weight, but I have two 1,000 pound capacity Harbor Freight furniture dollies and they seem to be holding it just fine because this is about 900 pounds. So I'd say this area looks a lot better. Now I gotta move our two server rack towers. I'm gonna try to make some space kind of over here, and I already have a long run of 2-gauge wire that we're gonna use to connect it. It's not ideal to make long runs of DC wiring, but it will work just fine. I'm not concerned about it even a little bit. And then we can get all this cleaned up and be done. And at the end of the video, we're gonna do a capacity add up, and I'm gonna show you guys exactly how much capacity we have sitting right here that's powering our house right now. So this is 800 amp hours of batteries, or about 40 kilowatt hours. Now we're gonna start the very tedious task of getting all these wired up. So these are all gonna get wired up to one set of bus bars. These are gonna get wired up to another. Those two sets are gonna be put in parallel, and then we have one main connection to go from that parallel connection to the rest of the battery bank. So here's all the cabling for these batteries. And more than likely, I'm gonna make a couple extra custom set of cables because ideally, I do want the cable runs to be as short as possible. I don't want a huge spaghetti nest of wires. I wanna make this look neat, nice and tidy. But the racks actually came out really good. They could definitely use a little bit of finishing and painting, but this is just temporary until I can get some metal racks built. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. All right, many hours later, I got all the batteries connected and done. I didn't record me doing this section just because it was kind of a repeat of that, but I have to say I'm extremely satisfied with how this all looks and how it all turned out and how well everything fits with my new wooden racks. What's really cool is I used the SunGold Power server rack battery, had such long leads, I was actually able to cut the leads down and re-terminal a bunch of the cable, and I was able to use all of that cable to make all of our connections on that side. So that side looks extremely clean. This side looks good too. I'm definitely satisfied with how everything looks. And then the final bus bar configuration also looks pretty good. Now I do plan on building some sort of cover to put over this whole thing. That way this can act as like a small table or something like that. And it's also gonna protect the bus bars from somebody hitting them. And this is actually missing a cover, so I'm probably gonna have to 3D print a cover if I can't find one. But everything else about this thing is pretty much good to go. So now I'm gonna go ahead and turn all the server rack batteries on. They're currently all off. And I gotta be honest, guys, I'm a bit nervous. Pretty sure I did everything right. So we're gonna go one by one. All right, one is on, this one's on, this one's on, this one's on. And I kind of triple checked everything here, make sure we didn't hook nothing up backwards. That one is on, this one is on, this one's on, and one more. Oh yeah, that's nice. Oh yeah, we got all our batteries running. Everything is good to go. So very nice. I've been wanting to do this forever, and I'm finally happy to say that we got it done. It took most of my Saturday to do it, but it's all good. It looks amazing, and I'm very satisfied with it, especially compared with how it looked before. Oh, missed a cover right here. Nice. So that's it, guys. My entire system has been redone. So we have all our server rack batteries there. We have all of our golf cart batteries there. We have our Yijing DIY horizontal packs right there. Yijing vertical pack right there. EG4 indoor vertical pack right there. The two Humsienk vertical server rack style batteries right there. And then of course we have our cow pack. I didn't do nothing with that. There's another golf cart battery down there. And there's our Humsienk wall battery that I'm currently testing. So I'm gonna do a little bit of math, and I'm gonna try to figure out exactly how much capacity we have as of right now. So I'm gonna do that real quick, and I'm gonna show you guys what the results are. So we currently have 3,744 amp hours of batteries. So if we multiply that by our working voltage, which is 51.2, it gives us a grand total of 191 kilowatt hours, or 191,692.8 watt hours. So that's an absolute amazing amount of capacity. I never thought my system would ever get this big. And a lot of it's because you guys watch my channel. So thank y'all very much if you tune in and watch it. So I will say this is gonna be it just for now. I'm probably gonna be capping the amount of batteries I'm getting from here on forward because this is so much capacity. I really don't think I need more. Now, as far as solar coming in, I generally generate about 60 kilowatt hours a day. So if my system was completely discharged, I could fully charge it in about 3 days of sun, which is pretty good. Now, keep in mind that is during the summer. During the winter, I only peaked at about 30 kilowatt hours, so it's significantly less. Now, in my house, I only use about between 30 to 50 a day at most, and that's if I'm charging a car, running my dryer, and all that stuff. But generally speaking, all the base loads in the house, which all my heating and cooling is mini splits, running lights and things like that, those really don't pull a ton of power. What really kind of gets you is your big 240 volt loads and if you charge an electric car. Ow. Anyways, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for now. If you tuned in and you're still watching it at the end of the video, thank y'all very much. Let me know y'all's thoughts in the comments about what you're looking at right here, and please share any insight that you want to share. I'll be in the comments responding to as many as possible, like always. If there's something specific that you guys want me to do, make sure you leave a comment. I am currently have a backlog of ideas and videos that I'm trying to make. So if you're asking me to make a video on a specific thing or a how-to, just know that I read all your comments and I make notes about all of it, and I'm gonna do my best to slowly but surely pump out more videos of more DIY help, not just doing reviews and all that stuff. Because my goal with this channel is to help you guys grow as I grow. So we were able to grow all this. I recorded most of the videos of us growing this because I think the ability to generate and use your own power is just an awesome thing to have, especially in today's world. So thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.